Section 5.1, Midsegments of Triangles. We're going to use properties of midsegments to solve problems. A super easy process. What a midsegment is it's the segment that connects the midpoints of both sides. The midpoints don't have to be exactly the same. By that I mean this. When you're looking at the midpoint of this side, this length doesn't have to be the same as that one. These two do. So wherever that midpoint is, the two segments on either side of it are the same, but they're not necessarily the same going across. They're two different midpoints. So that's what a midsegment is. And the midsegment theorem says this: if a segment joins the midpoints of two sides of a triangle, then the segment is parallel to the third side and is half as long. So the main things that you want to be aware of are these things right here. Parallel and half as long. Those are the two most important parts. So when you're looking at it, the red line and the blue line up here are parallel, which definitely makes a difference. And the longer one is twice as big as the shorter one, or the shorter one is half as big as the longer one. So if they give you one, you can always find the other just by either halving it or doubling it. Okay, so what are three pairs of parallel segments? So I'm going to look at this triangle in three different ways. The first thing is if you have midsegments, which we're going to find out that we have, I'm looking at this one first. Okay, so let's see if that's a midsegment first. If you look at the one on this side and the one on that side, are they marked the same? If you look at the one on this side and that side, are they marked the same? Yes, then it's a midsegment. So it is going to be parallel to something. So what is RS going to be parallel to? And you have to go all the way across, just like Kylie said. So DF. So this little shorter one is parallel to the longer one at the bottom. And that's really all you're doing. So if I were to flip this and we had, and we were looking at this one right here, you're looking at this one. This length is the same as that one. This one is the same as that one. And it would be, I'll be right with you guys. It would be a midsegment. And what is this one parallel to? RT would be parallel to FE. Is that what you said, FE? Okay. And then we would do the same thing on the last one. So I'm going to do the last one. So again, we look at the segments. These two are the same. These two are the same. So it's basically the segments that's splitting that one in half. So what is TS parallel to? DE is correct. Okay. Now, you would go through all of those things probably just in your head, and then you could just write them down. So you don't really have to show any work. It's a lot of kind of thinking things through. What's yours? What? Yes. Mm-hmm. So that'll be one thing that you have to do, which is something that's pretty easy to do. Secondly, this one says in triangle QRS, that's the big one, T, U, and B are midpoints. So what you guys have to do then is you have to put that into consideration. So if U is a midpoint, that means QU is the same as UR. So that's what you would do first. B is a midpoint, which makes BS congruent to BR, and you would mark those. And then T is a midpoint, so you'd mark those the same as well. And what that does is it makes all of this little triangle part midsegments like we just did in the other triangle. So what are the lengths of TU, UB, QR? So for TU, we're using this one. What one is parallel to that, since we know they're all midsegments? RS. So how much is So we're looking at these two. RS is 40. How much would TU be? 20. Okay, so if you know the long one, you half it. If you know the short one, you double it. So TU is going to be 40 divided by 2, which is 20. How about UB? Okay, so UB is this one. I'm going to change colors here. You would look at the one that is 50. Obviously, then it's the longer one, so you would half that one as well. So 50 divided by 2 would be 25. And the last one, we are looking for QR. QR, this one. Okay, so that one, we don't have the longer one, we have the shorter one. So what are we going to do this time? Double it. So 30 times 2. And that's all you're doing. You don't have to show that I'm doing this, I'm doing halving it, or I'm doubling it. Just do it. Okay, I'm just showing you just in case you look back and go, I don't remember how to do this. Okay, so half or double, mid-segment. You can use the triangle mid-segment theorem to find lengths of segments that might be difficult to measure directly. Here's one of those. We have a geologist that wants to find the distance across this sinkhole, doesn't want to go across it, okay? So it's telling us all about it in the paragraph. Choosing a point E outside the sinkhole, she finds distances AE and BE. AE is the longer two because she can walk that distance, so she's finding this length and she's cutting it. She's finding its midpoint. She also walked here and found that midpoint, and then she went directly across. She did measure that directly across and knew something about mid-segments, so how much would the length of AB be if this short one right here is 46? Yeah, so you'd go 46 times 2, which is 92 feet. So it's an easy way to find the distance across something really difficult to get across if you can't get across it. You know, if you can do the measuring outside of that particular area, it would be some easy way to find out the length. And that's all I have. So what I would like you to do right now is take your assignment out, and we're going to do this one. Just do it at the top of your assignment, please. I'm going to put in the lengths that are here so you can see it a little better. It says AD is 6, DE is 7.5, and they want these lengths. You don't have to redraw the picture unless you want to.
Which one is 6, AD or AC?
AD. AC, I'd put it in the middle. So AD. That one is the 6. DE is the 7.5. So give me those lengths. Make sure you label them. And that can be like the first problem that you have on your assignment. And then I'm going to correct these separately from the assignment. So your assignment's up there. You can just continue on the same page. And if you finish it, you can hand it in today. If not, you can submit it this weekend.